Hi, my name is Aide, and I've lived in Alhambra for 10 years. And I live by the Mahatma Gandhi saying, be the change that you wish to see in the world. I have not liked the direction in which our city has been going, and this is why I joined Grassroots Alhambra.
I was very disappointed in the outcome of the last election because the person I supported for city council from my council district received the most votes but was not elected because votes are counted citywide. I understand why that was initiated over 100 years ago when Alhambra first became a city. At that time, it was sparsely populated, and the local politicians wanted to be sure that they had representation throughout the city geographically.
I think right now we really have an opportunity to improve the governance of Alhambra, and specifically with the candidates running for city council.
Grassroots Alhambra in Action decided to initiate this ballot initiative process because it's good government. It's good for democracy in Alhambra. Getting big money out of politics is a good thing. We don't want our elected leaders to be or feel beholden to moneyed interests or a handful of large donors. Nor do we want potential candidates to feel like they need to take large donations from corporations, businesses, or other moneyed interests who may not necessarily even live in Alhambra, but are donating significant amounts to our city council candidates and members because they are seeking favorable votes.
Everybody will be able to give a donation up to a certain amount, which is plenty. $250 is, I mean, I don't remember the last time that I actually donated more than that to anybody. So that means the government will be actually working for us, not for their highest donors.
I prefer to speak to a candidate in person. I would love to see them walking around our city, getting to know their district. And by that time, if they're running, they should know their district and what is being needed, what the residents are concerned about.
The city council people who will be running under this new mechanism of donations, well, they won't be getting donations from wealthy individuals or from developers or corporations. But the good thing is this will force them to get their money by going out and actually talking to the people in the city, and they can learn something from that. They'll learn about the people in the city, they'll learn about what the problems in the city are, and it keeps the keeps everyone on the up and up, and it avoids the conflict of interest that is obvious with huge dollar donations.
The City Council has assured us that their money hasn't affected their voting, but as a resident, I feel that it really has. I feel that they feel the need to vote a certain way once they have received a certain amount of money.
A couple of things that I'm most concerned about is that there's really no limit to the amount of donations that any one candidate can receive. And because of this, businesses or really wealthy individuals are able to support a candidate that doesn't necessarily reflect what my needs are as a resident of Alhambra.
Well, the legislation mentions of 460s, which are reports that candidates, not candidates, but council folks and elected officials are required to report their dollars that they bring in, the dollars that they spend within certain months as they're campaigning.
It limits the amount of contributions to those who are seeking elected office.
We already have 5 council districts, and nothing needs to get changed in regard to those districts, except the fact that the people who live in a particular area in a particular council district should vote for a candidate to represent them.
I think it's an open, transparent thing to do, and I think it's important for the city to take a lead on that.
We just don't want our elected leaders to focus their election on fundraising. We want them to focus on their message, their qualifications. And by capping donations at $250, it's forcing our electeds to start knocking on doors, to bring their message directly to the people that they're going to be representing, as opposed to simply blanketing the city with mailers and not having ever met or spoken with a majority of their constituents.
Let's work together to balance the needs of the residents of Alhambra with the business community that we support.